Good evening, Vista scholars. I'm so excited to be kicking off our Vista Bedtime stories with the very first book called Not Quite Narwhal by Jessie Sima. Not Quite Narwhal. Kelp was born deep in the ocean. He knew early on that he was different from other narwhals. His tusk wasn't as long as everyone else's. He had different tastes in food. And he wasn't a very good swimmer. But his friends didn't seem to mind, so Kelp decided he wouldn't either. That is, until he was swept away by a strong current. And here he is. I wish I were a better swimmer. Kelp found himself at the surface, closer to land than he'd ever been before. High up on a cliff, he spotted a mysterious, sparkling creature. It looked so familiar. It looked like kelp. Kelp swam toward land as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all, hoping that he could catch up with the creature that looked just like him. And when he finally reached the shore, Kelp felt a bit anxious. He had never left the ocean. He was very nervous about walking for the first time, but the land creatures made it look so easy. It wasn't. And here he is. Oof. And ow. But eventually, he got the hang of it. Everything on land was strange and beautiful, but also kind of scary. Kelp began to think he might never find the creature that looked just like him. But as he stumbled out of the forest, land narwhals! Actually, we're unicorns. And by the looks of it, so are you. Unicorns. And then kelp. Kelp had never heard of unicorns before. They taught him all sorts of new things about his tusk. They say we call them horns. They introduced him to unicorn delicacies. And they showed him how to gallop. There was no doubt that Kelp was, in fact, a unicorn. He was having so much fun that he didn't want to leave. But then he remembered all of his friends under the sea. Kelp missed them terribly, so he said goodbye to the unicorns and returned to the ocean. So there he is swimming away, and the unicorns are saying, "Come back soon." Kelp swam towards home as fast as he could, which wasn't very fast at all, hoping that the narwhals would still like him now that he was a unicorn. When he finally arrived, Kelp had butterflies in his stomach. There's a big welcome home sign, and they say, "Kelp." Kelp took a deep breath and told his friends the news. He says, "It turns out I'm not a narwhal." And they say, "Of course you aren't." And Kelp says, "I'm a unicorn." And his friends say, "We all knew that." And they took it quite well. Kelp was happy to be home, but now that he'd experienced life on land with the unicorns, he couldn't seem to forget them. Did he want to be a land narwhal with the unicorns? Or a sea unicorn with the narwhals? Kelp couldn't decide. But then he realized that maybe, just maybe, he didn't have to choose. And here he is, playing with all the narwhals and all the unicorns together. All right. That's it, Vista Eagles. I hope you enjoyed your bedtime stories, and stay tuned for so many more. Good night.